I want to quickly walk you through the events that occurred that led to the eventual banning of my Joey Arnold 7 channel on YouTube. I'm going to do the best I can to walk you through the relevant events the best I can. I may not know the whole story, but the best I can do is tell you what I know. And that is, first off, YouTube took down a random video that I uploaded some years ago, probably back in 2021. And so that was like 2 years ago. It was closer to the beginning of 2021. And so I went to try to appeal it, and they rejected the appeal. And the video that they took down, it was just a political video, and I voiced my opinion in the video. I'm gonna try not to talk about it, even though I believe in talking about it. Like, it's not really a big deal to talk about it, but it's like you talk about it and then YouTube takes it down because you say something about what you think happened politically. Texas ruled recently that any social media that's like has a lot of people, something like 50 million people or more, they're not allowed to do things like that, target people based on their political views, their opinions. And that's all I had, basically. And I was just trying to say what I thought happened. I didn't think I made a big deal about it in that video that I uploaded a few years ago. And then after like 2 years, probably almost 2 years, it's like they just take it down, and it takes them that long to like take it down. I would imagine that if it was so bad, they would have taken it down before. Like, think about it. Like, if it's so bad, why not take it down? Why not try to take it down right away? That's one of the things that frustrates me. But I'm sure you can say, well, they're too busy. It's like, they're so busy, it's like, so it's very hard for them. But anyway, so I uploaded a new video where I talk about that video, kind of like what I'm talking about right now in this video. This is like another video about a video, kind of like that movie, Inception, a dream within a dream within a dream. So that's kind of how I feel. So I talked about it, and little Susie, she took down the video. The YouTube queen, Overlord, took down a video where I talked about the other video, and I barely even said anything. And that could have been what got me a strike, but I don't think that was the thing that got me a strike. So I'm trying to remember what gave me a strike. I think it was the video that I uploaded a few years ago. Like I said originally in this video, they gave me a strike for an old video, the video that I just mentioned earlier, where I talked about the results. But I can't say, because I believe that, and obviously there's evidence, because there's documentaries and a lot of things that we can go through, but the people on the left, they don't want to talk about it, so they just say that you're fake news, and they take it down because they don't want a dialogue. They don't want freedom of speech. They don't want people to talk about it. And so it becomes very frustrating. So you get a strike based off of that. And so I got a strike based off of that. And maybe I should just upload a video to Odyssey where I just say it directly. I'm trying to say indirectly what these videos were about. And I have to say it again that I win a lot of appeals. That's important to understand, that they take down videos, and I say no, and they say, oh yeah, we're sorry about that, and they put the video back up, you know. So I get the second strike, and that was on the 26th of September 2022. I think that was on a Monday. So then they take down a video. They didn't like a week later. Was it a week later? No, 2 weeks later. Sorry, 2 weeks later. And they sent me an email. So it was on Monday. It was on the 10th of October of this year, 2022. It was in the morning that I received the email from YouTube. I believe it was like something like 4 in the morning. And they said in the email, they're not giving me a third strike. They're not going to give me a third strike because it was within the first 2 weeks of the second strike. The strike will last for 90 days, and you can't upload for the first 2 weeks. And they said because you can't upload for the first 2 weeks, and this is within those first 2 weeks, we're not going to give you a third strike. I don't know what that's all about. Whether you like it or not, that's what they wrote. I'm not really here to debate exactly. I mean, I could maybe in other videos, in future videos. Right now, that's not the point of this video. My point is just to lay out what happened, the events that happened. And what I know is what I know. It's like I get a strike, and then I get a takedown. So a video gets taken down, and they say we're not going to give you a third strike because it's within the grace period. I don't think they said grace period, but I'd have to go read the email again. But I'm going to call it a grace period because that's what it sounds like to me. Just to summarize what they were saying, I'm just going to call it a grace period. And they're like, we're not gonna give you a third strike because it's within those 2 weeks, those first 2 weeks of a second strike. And I went and I appealed. So I was probably like, it might be said that they probably banned me over that when I went to appeal, that was outside of the grace period. Like I said, the grace period outside of the first 2 weeks of the second strike. So I appeal, which is fine in a sense because they say, yeah, go ahead, you can do that kind of thing. And I've won a lot of appeals. Like I said earlier in this video, I won so many appeals, I win appeals. So I appeal, they take down a video, I appeal, they put it back up, they put it back up, they put it back up, you know? Like, I put it back up. Not, I don't put it back up, what am I saying? But they put it back up. And so they go and they reject the appeal. And that was a week later on a Sunday. What day would that be? Must have been on the 16th. And so they reject the appeal. And then they suspend my channel on Tuesday, the 18th of October of 2022. I got how many emails? 4 emails on Tuesday. 3 of them came at the same time in the morning. I think it was at 5:48 a.m. So I get the 3 emails. 2 of them said I was banned. 1 of them said I wasn't banned. So it's like, I think it was just all automatic kind of thing. And so I think all this was out of a technicality. I mean, there could be other things to the story that led to my suspension on YouTube. You know, like, I don't know what they're not telling me. You know, there could be stuff behind the scenes, like people conspiring. You know, like, oh, we're gonna ban oatmeal Giuliano, but I don't think so. I mean, that's a great story and all, but I'm not Tim Pool. I'm not Steven Crowder. I'm not anybody that's really big politically, and I was trying not to upload a lot of political videos the past few years, and especially the past few months, and even like the last month or two. Like, I try to keep it to a minimum, but then they're just like coming in and digging into my old videos. So it's like it's a terrible feeling. I've been talking about this for a long time. So they've banned over 10,000 videos of mine, and that's the grand total based on all the videos I've uploaded to 3 channels on YouTube. And it all started back in 2017. They banned my OJAWALL channel. Yeah, I had a YouTube channel called OJAWALL. That's OJA, Oatmeal Joey Arnold. My wall, kind of like a Facebook wall. Throw it on the wall, put it all on the wall. That's why I called it a wall. The idea was, I'm just gonna put it all there, like a hard drive, like a cloud. I'm just gonna throw a bunch of stuff on to my OJAWALL channel. They banned it. It may have been due to copyright, maybe due to community guidelines, maybe a little bit of both. I tried to appeal that too, and they just said, no, you're a bad guy or something. And same thing with Joey Arnold BN channel. I had another channel called Joey Arnold BN for Vietnam, because I was in Vietnam. And so that happened the next year in 2018. And I was hesitant to go to my other channel on YouTube, another channel called Joey Arnold 7. But I started going to it eventually, and I made a big comeback. So there was a big comeback this year, this current year, 2022. It all started with a guy named Deadwing Dork, the Duck, the Claw, from Canada. He did a video about me. He did a live stream, talked about me. Went through some of my videos, talked about me on Valentine's Day. That's the 14th of February 2022 on a Monday. Talked about me for 3 hours. And then the Memes World Productions picked me up. Chrissie showed some of my videos on her show, on the Simpcast, Chrissie Meyer. That was good too, because I like to follow her and the Simpcast and some of the other shows, some of the other channels relating to all those people. And you know, I'm a big fan of all those people, so I was happy for that. But basically, what I'm saying, I say all that to say that I was making a comeback, and then YouTube starts digging up my old videos and then striking them, and then I would appeal, and then they would say okay. They would accept my appeals. They would approve my appeals. They would take down my videos. I would say no. They'd say, okay, you're right. But sometimes they'd say, no, F you. And this final thing got me. That last video that they took down would have been a third strike, and perhaps it was unofficially a third strike, but it may have been that they didn't want to say that. And this is one of the main points that I wanted to make in this video. Maybe I need to make some more videos. One of the points that I wanted to make, other than like the technicality of trying to appeal a video outside of the grace period, I was trying to make that point. I wanted to make that point earlier in this video, but another point I want to try to make is, I think perhaps they didn't want to say that is why they banned me. I mean, they could have easily sent me an email saying you got banned for that video that we took down on the 10th of October. You know, we took it down. We said it would have been a strike, but then it wasn't a strike. But then you asked for it to be reinstated. You want the video back up. You appealed, but that was outside of the grace period. So we had to do it, and it was probably mostly automated, maybe entirely by their programs, their AI. You know, though, because, you know, they're dealing with like millions, billions, how many people? Lots of people, millions, billions. And so a lot of stuff is automated. And so perhaps not a single person, not a single YouTube staff is aware of these things happening. At least not aware of me, because I'm just a little guy. I'm a nobody. So they, they take me down on the 18th, and well, I mean, I guess they have to know. I mean, I don't know if they know or not. I don't know what the system is, but you know, they sent me these emails, and it may have been that they decided to hide behind something kind of fancy. They like to hide behind the words, and so their emails to me about their reasoning for taking down my channel, for banning my channel, was like, oh, that I kept on breaking the rules, violating their guidelines. What they don't tell you, what they don't want you to know, is I was winning the appeals again and again and again. Not every time, might I add, but I did win a lot of appeals. I would say I would win most of the appeals. And so you can't just say that I'm violating the rules if they're like, just like, you know, trying to remove all these videos and trying to get me down, and it's like, feel like they're just doing me wrong kind of thing. And I feel like that's pretty discouraging for something like that to happen. And again, I don't know everything that went into me being banned. These are just a few observations that I'm making currently about the timeline of events. And I probably should make some better videos talking about this a little bit. There may be more to the story, but this is what I see so far, that it was politically motivated that they did this. And it may have been like a little bit of a cover-up because it was like automated, and maybe that explains the 4 emails that I got on Tuesday, the day that I was banned. That was last Tuesday. And so they may have been like, we don't want to admit to effing things up. So we're just gonna send him some email saying something like, if I show you the exact wording on the email, you'd be like, what's that all about? Because they say, maybe you did this, or maybe you did that. And I gotta show you that, because basically what it's saying is, they don't know what I did, but they gotta ban me.